Hello, hello, hello. It is Thursday, September 9th, and this is a very special Jury Duty, a Big Brother podcast. All right, so first, welcome back, Warren. Really happy to have you again. Very first double eviction night. Lots to talk about, and also lots not to talk about. Can we talk about Julie's dress first? She looked great. Really fantastic. Great. Totally on point for double eviction.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, Kyle's going to say something about this dress.
Yes, this is what we expect to see for a double eviction. So thank you.
Yep.
And Gina's done up for the occasion as well. And we're super excited. I'm not. My hair is not freshly cut. So, but so we lost Claire. We knew it was coming. It was fine. It was not fine, but okay.
I was emotional watching. I caught up on last night's this afternoon, and I was sitting on my couch sobbing.
Yeah,
like that whole moment between her and Tiff it killed me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a tough watch. And it was her DR for me afterwards.
Yeah,
that's what kind of set me over the edge. Yeah, that was tough. But she handled it like a champ. And
absolutely, yeah.
I'll definitely take this moment to lobby on her behalf for America's favorite house guest.
Yeah.
All right, I absolutely think she deserves it. I'm so sorry for DX.
I think she does too.
Until this happened. So yeah, I think she deserves it. So yeah, Claire.
I still think it's probably DX's to lose, but she's going to give him a run for his money now.
Yeah,
for sure.
I will riot if she doesn't win.
Did they both? So DX, I know, definitely got 100 BB bucks both weeks that he was in it. Did Claire get 100 both weeks too? They're both pretty popular players, right?
I think she only got one the last one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think she got 75 the first time.
Okay.
I think it was 50. I think she was pulling in clunkers.
Really?
Because weren't we surprised by that? And we said, "What is this? Mm-hmm. What is this?" And then Gina had said something about the casuals would think that of Claire, but not us because we know better. I feel like we had a conversation like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds right.
Yeah, I knew she got 100 BB bucks at least once. I just couldn't remember.
The last one she did, yeah.
Once America started to realize what was going on. Yeah. So during the double, we saw that Hannah won HOH. Thank God. And the return of BB Comics, by the way, since we were talking about that last night also. A whole week. So exciting. Yeah.
Two things awesome. That I wasn't confident we were actually getting this season. BB Comics and a double.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night, about how we hadn't seen BB Comics, and we were wondering, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen real soon.
Yeah.
Soon, yeah.
So I'm glad we got it.
And now we're getting a whole week of it. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I love BB Comics.
I know,
yeah, and this was an HOH that was fun to play. Also, I had a good time.
I was very invested.
Yes, I was very invested in this one, and we haven't had an HOH that was that much fun for us. And a while, so I enjoyed that.
I would have indeed won the HOH competition. So I'm just making sure everybody knows that.
I would have won too. My struggle was I didn't remember the words though, so I just kept shouting.
I remember the colors of the words. Yeah.
Yes, I was it was the blue with the orange background, whatever word that was. Right. Yeah, really, really fun. What did we think of? Oh God, I felt very uncomfortable with Alyssa's little conversation with Hannah. God, she goes, "So what? The two thing? The two thing is not a thing." And I was like, "Oh God."
And I was like, I know I'm used to watching live feeds, so I see everything that happens, but I feel like I'm not supposed to be watching this right now.
No, this was not allowed. This was a rushed private moment between two people.
This felt dirty.
Right.
And the conversation happened in the bathroom with the brand new shady door in the first place. That even allows for this to happen.
Right.
Yeah, weird. But then, like, I don't know, everything kind of happened the way we expected it to.
Yeah. For a double, it was pretty predictable, but I'm very happy that Hannah got an HOH under her belt.
Yeah, I was rooting for her. I was rooting for her
especially
hard.
after Zingbot really did her dirty, being like, Hannah, who?
Oh yeah.
Although that was like arguably like the best Zing of the evening, like in my opinion. Like, I still thought that was the best one. But I have mixed feelings on the way it went down. But they are all positive.
I don't know what that means.
Right. And I know. And so I think it's awesome that, like, the final 6, like, made it. And as a game player, like, I think it's really, really awesome that we had an alliance that was able to do that. And as a Black man, I'm super excited that it was all people of color. But of course, I'm bummed that there was no chaos. Like, I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so my mixed feelings are there. It's all still positive. Like, I mean, it was still a great night. And it was like a historic night. And I think that we are now going to see this game and this show, like, differently going forward. This is the season that everybody is going to be talking about for actually, like, good reasons. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it depends on what side of the argument you fall on. Yeah. But most of us will talk about it for good reasons. And, like, so that's, like, really, really cool. But I would have enjoyed fireworks too.
That's the next double. Get ready. We got this again in a week.
This next double,
very interesting.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, looking ahead.
That chaos that you're hoping for, I think we could still get a lot of it because, I mean, we even saw tonight in the episode, you know, a lot of differing opinions on who this first target of the cookout should be now.
Yes, and that is absolutely the conversation that I think we need to get into because yum. So, what do you think who should be the first, or who do you even want to be HOH first? Just go ahead.
Him gone.
Oh, Kylan
gone.
Oh, I thought you were saying you want Kylan to win it. I was like, whoa.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I know. I got a little scared.
No,
I don't even know where to move the screen. So I don't know what to do.
I don't care who wins HOH as long as they send Kylan packing.
Yeah.
That's
I
fair.
think if you know, Hannah, Tiffany, Azza, DF are smart, I think that the 4 of them will team up and try to go after like Derek go after Xavier and Kylan, because I feel like those are the 2 biggest threats to all of them winning the game. So I don't know if we'll see that, but I think that that's what they should do.
Yeah, I can very much picture just X and Kylan flip-flopping HOHs for the rest of the game. It's not something I want to see, but it's possible.
Well, certainly not something I want to see either. We have a comment here from Erin. Thanks for watching, Erin. She agrees. Kind of wants to start with a backdoor of Kylan's. I know. I would have liked to see that tonight. That would have been fun.
There was a part, like, obviously it's incredible to have seen, like, the results of tonight, but there was a part of me that really wanted Alyssa to pull out this veto and get Kylan up there.
Is it bad that, like, that's just not when I wanted it to happen? Like...
No, I know. It's like there's like a part of me that wanted it to happen, but for the most part, this is what I wanted, you know?
Right.
No, I know.
You want a week of him panicking.
No, I would have, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want because there's just so many different ways for that one to go. I don't know what I want. I just really want to see him packing, but I want to see him panic more. I want to see him try and fail. I don't know. I just don't want things to go smoothly for him. Like that's
even like
all.
Knowing 100% that he wasn't going home, he seemed really pissy about being the replacement nom tonight.
I think he was nervous that something could have shifted.
I do not think that was for show at all. I think he was genuinely like pissed about it.
I don't know if something like happened that we didn't see, like or like some weird conversation between some of the house guests, but there was a weird vibe. I thought Kylan's speech was very weird. How he turned to Alyssa.
He's something like, "Oh, I don't know if that was ever like unclear. I've never had a problem with you," or whatever it was he said.
He like addressed all the house guests, was like, "I love all of you," and then turned to Alyssa and was like, "You know, I don't have any negative feelings towards you. I don't know if that's been unclear in the past." And I was like, "What's this about?"
Yeah,
and
it was
then
really weird.
And it could have just been because Hannah had just put him up, as the replacement. But like I saw them have a moment in the kitchen after Alyssa left, and Kylan's like, "No, you're good, you're good." You know, like it was just everything just seemed very strange to me at that moment. But
well, I think what it sounded like was that Hannah was not supposed to do that.
Even when, like, right after the veto was won and we got, like, those little bits of the one-on-ones before we went to commercial, Tiffany was like, no, don't do that. Like, why are you doing that? He wasn't supposed to go up or something like that.
Right, yes. I heard that too. And I think that maybe that's why Kylan maybe felt some kind of way because I believe Alyssa had come into the room and said something to Hannah. And I think she was asking for Kylan to be the one to go up. See, I was talking at that moment, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what she did because when Tiffany said, no, you're not supposed to do that, why are you putting Kylan up? She made some comment like, well, I already told Alyssa that I would.
No, so she was saying that she had told Alyssa that Xavier was the target.
Yeah, but this conversation had happened after.
No, but she had said to Tiffany, like, well, I already told Alyssa that Xavier was the target, but I don't know what happened before Tiffany started talking. So I don't know how Xavier being the target affects Kylan being the renom, but that was the reason.
Maybe because he's the next strongest competitor in the house. So just not to blow anything up. That's my best guess.
I don't know. The whole thing is weird to me because, like, sure, nobody wants to go on the block, but at this point, it literally does not matter. Like, it literally does not matter who goes up next to Alyssa. Like,
you have the votes.
Yeah, why is anybody getting upset? Like, this is just a formality. Somebody set up there, everybody else cast your votes, and we're done. We're in the final 6. Like, stop getting upset.
I also do kind of feel bad because, like, again, at this point, yeah, with Alyssa on the block, it doesn't matter. Alyssa goes home. So the cookout is in the final 6 no matter what. A cookout member is going to win this game. I do kind of wish that someone took her aside and was like, listen, here's what's, like, just so you know, like, so you're not totally in the dark, like, give it, like, you know how Tiffany had that conversation with Claire. Give Alyssa something to be like, listen.
Yeah, I still don't understand why we couldn't do that. Like, for what reason now? Like, why can't she know?
Up until this point, I understand why they kept the cookout a secret. But now that the final 2 is going to be 2 cookout members no matter what, why can't you just, like, give her something?
This poor girl is over here thinking that, like, you know, it's something personal. And, like,
yeah.
And for what? Like, just let her know so that everybody else knows.
I wonder.
Everyone's going to find out anyway.
Right. I wonder if we would have had that conversation over the course of a full week rather than in a double eviction. You know, like, obviously everybody knew that eventually Alyssa's going out, but, like, before tonight, you know, she could have won the HOH, so you're not going to tell her before you know whether or not she's going to win the HOH.
You're right.
And then in the middle of a double, when everybody's running around, I don't think there's enough time to really have a conversation.
No, I just mean, like, rather than trying to explain to her, like, no, Xavier was the target, but now we're going to try to get Kylan out because Kylan's also like, just like at that point, once the veto was won, just be like, listen, girl, I'm so sorry. This.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just such like a. I feel like that. I feel like you run the risk of Alyssa going into the jury house then, like guns a-blazing. Because
but it doesn't matter.
Like,
the cookout is going to win anyway.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
It's not like she's going to vote against a member of the cookout, you know?
Right. But I don't know. It's a whole.
Just soften the blow for her a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think they executed their plan absolutely flawlessly, though.
It's wild to me how they were not in danger for even a second. Like, from day 1 to now, it was just a clean sweep of, like, this is our plan, this is what we're going to do, and they did it perfectly.
Yeah.
It was completely flawless execution from the very, very beginning. And I'm happy I saw it, and I'm happy it's over. Like, let's go. I would love to see Tiffany win another HOH. Like, if she won, because what is it, tomorrow, and we find out on Sunday? Boy, oh boy, would I love to see if she won again, and then what she'd do. The only thing more interesting than that for me is Azah.
Yeah.
Like, who would she put up?
God,
I have
no idea.
absolutely.
I mean, she said she was saying she wants Kylan out.
That's true, Kylan.
I don't know who he's next to.
Yeah,
probably Tiff.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe she would go for the 2 people that had whose names were in people's mouths. If people were saying both Kylan and Tiffany, well, just put them both.
I don't know though, because the women of the cookout very much have like a this is what we want our final 3 to be. I don't know if she would take the chance to turn on Tiffany like that.
Right, because I think if you put Tiffany up and she doesn't come down, I'm not so what does that look like? So now you don't have...
Even still, even if she does come down, you want Tiffany on your bad side?
Right. Well, could you see
No,
like
but I don't know that it would even matter because Tiffany doesn't have anybody on her side anymore. I think Tiffany's in a tough spot if she doesn't win this HOH.
The thing
What
is, I don't
about,
see Azza putting up X
I
Right.
don't think she
because
would.
of obvious reasons. Because
what about,
And
a
that's
13-year-old
Az's
girl in
problem.
the right.
what about a Kyland and Hannah as the two noms? Azza was kind of the one who was a little wishy-washy on whether Hannah was a real member of the cookout in the beginning anyway, right? Like, so...
Yeah, it's just the way the women have been.
But I just don't know if I see her putting up Xavier or Derek F. I feel like she's been close to Derek F. the whole game.
Yeah.
On this, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to see an Azza win. I mean,
I
I want
know.
to see it because I think it'll be messy, but I don't want to see it because I think that puts
I have no
Tiffany
idea
in
what she'd
danger.
do. Yeah.
Right now, for me, it seems like a game of duos. Like it's X and Kyland, Hannah and Tiff, DX and Azza,
Interesting.
or DF. Sorry, DF and Azza.
Yeah. Although I do feel like DF could very easily just kind of go along with the guys. It seems like they're very close. It seems like they talk a lot. I don't know.
He's going to go wherever the power goes.
Right.
Again, though, it's also a situation of like everybody wants to take him because it's going to be so easy to justify your game against him if you were at Final 2 with him. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I just think I just think it's ridiculous for him to really like make it that far. I mean, that just screams of Victoria. What season was that?
I remember this season.
16?
That was the Derek and
Final
Cody
three?
season, wasn't it?
16.
16.
Yeah.
He made it to Final
That's
Three.
basically
That's right,
that's
Final
basically what DF would be.
That's jeez.
There's so many. Tiffany has to win, or else
I think if Tiff wins,
gonna go.
it's Kyland and X that go up.
That's what I'm
For sure.
thinking. So yeah.
Absolutely. But then if somebody comes down, then she'd put DF because he's been working her nerves anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to put up any of the girls. It's
The
Ozzy
gloves are off
problem.
at this point.
I don't know what DF would do. What do you think he would put up Tiffany?
He would target Tiffany, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, the gloves are off now. It's everybody for themselves now.
Yes, I feel like the game is now starting. You know, we saw the formation of the cookout, and that was like very, very exciting. And then the execution of it was exciting for a moment. You know, because we had some flarns along the way. Like we weren't supposed to lose DX when we did, and you know, some of those things went wrong, but kind of got snoozy. Like I'm ready to go now.
It's incredibly impressive, but not necessarily exciting as gamers to watch it happen.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, so I'm ready, like, for the game to start now.
Right. I'm excited for everybody to play just for themselves, do what's best for them, and just say, hey, we made it this far. Let's go. Let's play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the safest in the house right now is Hannah, though.
I'd agree with that.
I can't think of a single person who would put her up.
And I saw somebody on Twitter say this too. Zingbot really like solidified her game by making her appear to be somebody that's like unseen in the house. Like, who's Hannah? Hannah's done nothing. Once that zing happened, it now reinforces in everyone's head like, oh, Hannah's not really that much of a threat. She hasn't done anything.
Right. Because now it's almost telling the other house guests that the perception of her is that she's doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's very safe. She's in a very good position.
She's very smart. She's got at least an HOH. Does she have a veto too? I can't.
Yes.
So
she
she's
does
got
have a veto.
She's got 2 comp wins under her belt.
Which veto did she win? Was it this past veto?
Oh yeah, she like just won one, right? Didn't
Yeah,
she?
it was very recent.
Yeah.
No, this one was the minis. What was before that? I'm literally going through right now.
love
Like,
Gina's
something
notes.
happens.
And did she take somebody down?
I don't think she did. And now her notes will prove me totally wrong.
Oh no! She won the Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, and she took. Oh, that's right. And she took Xavier
that's
down.
right.
That's
because
what it
he was the third nom. Yes.
Yeah, which, in my defense, basically counts as a nothing because that was always nothing. Like so that did that.
Hey,
really...
a win's a win. All right.
No, it is a win. No, it's a win.
Hey,
it just wasn't a momentous one because
she's been playing a very low key, very smart game, and now she's got 2 comp wins under her belt when it's starting to matter more. Yeah. And I think she's, like you guys said, she's in a very good position because not a lot of people are mindful of her. They think she's kind of just coasting along, staying under the radar. And I mean, she is, but she's playing a great game.
Yeah.
And we've said it before, it's really difficult to successfully play a floater game and still be able to be like, listen, I didn't make a ton of moves, but I made moves where it mattered.
Right.
And I think that's exactly what she's been doing.
Yeah.
I think she's who I'm rooting for the most to win this game right now.
Interesting.
Wow. That is a strong statement on what is now the eve of the premiere. I feel like this really starts on Sunday. Really? I think she's my number 2.
Yeah. Number 1 being...
I still think Tiffany's my number 1. I do. Yeah,
Tiffany and Hannah are 1 and 2 for me, but I think I'd want to see Hannah win a little more. Just like
a hair.
Tiffany is right.
That's where I am, but it's just Tiffany for me. It's just Tiffany for me.
Right,
that's fine.
right.
It's fine.
God,
it's fine.
She's just put in so much work, Tiffany. You know, this season that. Oof.
Oh, if she makes
from
it,
literally
I think
day
she
one,
absolutely deserves it.
Yeah.
She's at this point a legendary player, regardless of. If she wins or loses.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. She self-evicts. She's already legendary. We have a question from somebody on YouTube.
Fun.
Just got here. Who do you guys think will be evicted next? I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. BXRY. I don't. ANI. I don't know how to say that. But thanks for joining in. Who do we think will be evicted next? Depends on who wins this next week.
It really depends who wins.
Yeah, we're really scared. It's kind of what we're getting into now. It's definitely not Hannah. Definitely not Hannah. I think Tiffany's in trouble. She doesn't win.
I think the 2 people in the most trouble are Kyland and Tiffany.
I can see that, yeah.
I can see that too.
It's interesting too.
Because who cares about anybody else right now? Because I mean, Xavier is a threat, but I don't think anybody's going to fire a shot at him yet.
And I've seen people online saying something about like DF being the first out of the cookout, DF, but I don't know if that's just the fan base wanting him to be the first one out, or if there's any actual conversation to allude to the fact that he may be the first one out. Because I personally don't see him on anybody's radar, but I don't know if that's just because I'm not.
Listen, I sit at work and I'm reading those BB Update Twitter feeds. I don't see anybody talking about DF like for anything.
I also just don't see any reason to get rid of him right now. He's somebody that you can you can beat. Why get rid of him?
Yes, he kind of seems to vote in most people's favor. I understand he cooks and cleans. He sings fun songs.
Yeah.
He seems like a hoot and a half. I don't know. Leave him alone.
It's no secret that, that Derek F has not been very good at competitions this season. So, why would you want to take somebody out of the house that you have a better chance of beating in a competition?
Yeah.
So, I don't see why Derek F would be on anybody's radar at this moment.
No, he definitely should be the Victoria of this season. Just there.
Yeah.
Because you want somebody like that in Final 3, so that way you can kind of have you pick and choose what you want to do at the end. Let's see. We're back. DF might make it to Final 4. Yeah,
I think he will.
He might.
I mean, honestly, again, depending on who it is, I can see him making it to Final 2.
I understand why that would happen. I get it, but that's just not the America I'd like to live. I really don't want that.
I can absolutely see him making Final 3 at least.
Yeah.
the only way I don't see Derek F making it to Final Four is if like the people that are being targeted end up winning vetoes in both something like that, and he ends up just going up because
the last one left.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only way I see.
Yeah, and like maybe because maybe it's only Hannah and Tiffany voting, and we have a situation where it's like Azza and him sitting there, and then it's like, okay, well now you're out of here. It's just some kind of a flaw like that, but otherwise, I don't really think he's on anyone's radar. Yeah, I agree. Kyland and Tiffany are they're in troubles. Right. Do we think that Tiffany is still in trouble if Kyland wins? Like, what does Kyland do?
I know what
because there's been a lot of canoodling. We understand,
right? I know what Derek F and Xavier are going to be expecting Kyland to do.
Yes, I know, but we know that Kyland does not do what is expected of him.
But also, I feel like at this stage of the game, he might. I feel like now that we're down to the wire and there's only so many people in the house, and statistically, he just is more on everyone's radar than he used to be. I think we might see him just going along with what the men want him to do.
I feel like he's also still kind of pissed about the HOH thing, where she refused to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's big mad. He's big mad, and I don't know. I think that's kind of selfish. That would have been his third HOH. He would have had the most impressive comp resume so far.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you just get to have that of all the people in the cookout?
Yeah, because
I don't know.
I feel like people had been pushing for Azza or Derek F to win that HOH, that they could have taken the shot at Claire or Alyssa, and that was the whole point of it. Once DF and Azza are both out, who cares? Who cares who wins it now? Everybody knows. Look where we ended up here. We have the final 6, and it's the cookout. We
still did it.
Right.
Nothing went wrong. Yeah, nothing went wrong.
Yeah.
I did want to bring this up before. Did anybody else notice during the HOH comp tonight X throwing it?
I did see people talking about that.
Because he got the first 3 questions right, and then there was a question where he held up the wrong answer and threw up a peace sign, and I was like, okay, so he knows what he's doing. He's throwing right now. And then he got it wrong. The next question was the one where it was which symbol was surrounded by Zap? Mm-hmm. And he put up Zap, and I was like, okay, he's definitely throwing.
What I heard people saying was that once Julie read out the list of how many points everybody has, he realized that Alyssa was very much on the bottom, so he just started throwing.
Huh. Interesting.
Which then I was very surprised to see him gunning so hard for the veto, but I guess in that situation, since it was him and Alyssa, if he didn't take himself down, he knew if Alyssa did, he would be going home, I guess.
Right. And I mean, it's also just a resume booster at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be convincing if he wants to keep up his whole thing, keeping the cookout hidden. We have to be convincing.
Which, I mean, he beasted that comp, by the way. It
so
wasn't
fast.
Even close.
So fast.
You blink and you miss that comp.
Yes. And that's an interesting thing because before we came on, I was talking to my roommate about this whole thing, and I was saying how I wonder how good an argument Xavier really has right now, for winning this game, as far as gaining votes, because he is not resume building, and he's been telling us that he's been throwing things, but like Gina said last night, it's a very, very difficult thing to convince people that you've been throwing things and not just losing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but tonight, what we saw with that puzzle, okay, Mr. Xavier, I mean, let's see what
I feel half of them were on their first piece, and he was like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, everybody was like, is this a puzzle piece? And he's like, I'm done. Hi, Julie, hello. It didn't even ding. The people weren't ready for the ding.
Yeah. In comparison, they all looked like Caitlyn from BB20 trying to put that puzzle together.
Oh, Caitlyn. Oh, no.
You know what's funny about that moment, too, is that I always thought that was the cringiest thing I would ever watch on TV. Not knowing where my life would be going. And not knowing some of the things I've watched on Big Brother since then. I thought that was the cringiest thing ever.
But I will say, he hasn't done so much resume building, but with the 2 vetoes that he's won, he has wiped the floor with everybody.
It is true.
And he's won an HOH.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that HOH was trash. Like that was, that was.
It was made very easy for him.
Yes, I mean, like everyone threw it. That even what wasn't even one he was going to win. Like he was supposed to throw it next, wasn't he?
Right.
Like that wasn't
Which
even
one
one.
was that?
That was that one that wasn't that the one that DX and Hannah were like,
Oh,
and
yes,
so
yes,
excited.
yes.
Yeah, like that one. Like that was like forever ago. It's like a whole different show. What season was that?
Yeah.
Like season 12. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. But that,
Also,
that
just-
first. Sorry.
No, I wasn't going to say anything important. Go ahead.
Okay. That first veto that he won was the domino one. He finished that in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
He was see the only thing is though, he's the only one that took that certain pathway. Like if somebody else had gone that way, he might not have won that one. He was the only one that took the shortest route.
Because no one else wanted to take third nom.
Right.
Right.
Which also made me annoyed that he was like walking around the house so annoyed that he was on the block 3 weeks in a row. It's like you literally
Yes.
chose this.
Right. This is literally your fault.
Which might I add, he got to take that shortest route and have the confidence to prance around as the third nominee
Yeah.
because of the strategy that Miss Tiffany put in place, ensuring his safety.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we sit back and talk about all the wonderful achievements of Mr. Xavier, let's keep in mind that we had the gumption and the audacity and the balls to even give it a go because Tiffany said so first. Okay, that's the end of that. All right.
I agree
Enough
with you
now.
100%,
Thank you.
Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am taking nothing away from her at all.
Thank you.
1000%.
We have comments from the
Yeah,
crowd.
seeing these come in here.
Yeah.
So fun.
A while ago, Erin agrees. Thinks Kyle put up Tiffany and Hannah. Absolutely. I love how Xavier has some wins under his belt, but he is not really a top 2 target to get out right now. Xavier might win this season, actually. I know. That's why we have to get him out. This is the problem. This is the problem.
That's
He's
why
really dangerous to keep in.
I know.
Yeah.
Can we get these BB Bucks back? We got to
He
do
makes it the
something.
final 3, he wins the game. Like, I don't think I don't think realistically, I think Tiffany's the only one that has a chance next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, because he hasn't been ruffling any feathers. Like, he has kind of faded into the background, but, like, his jury management is very solid, and we've been saying it all season.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody, especially if he's sitting next to someone like Tiffany. She has made a couple of enemies and pissed off some people in the game. So if there is any semblance of a bitter jury at all, Xavier comes out on top,
Right. Which is exactly why Erin says that the only way to get him out is to backdoor him. You like how I put that in there? I was so excited. Yeah, I was really. I couldn't wait. Yeah, but no, it's true. You're gonna have to backdoor him because
Absolutely.
you're smoking these vetoes and scary.
Especially if he has
Exciting.
been throwing competitions this whole time, he can easily steamroll every competition from now until finale night.
Well,
Which I think is
Assuming
something
he-
we need to see. And in order for you, to be talking about this resume, we're gonna need to see that.
I will say a backdoor is a lot harder now that there's only 6 people.
Yeah.
Everybody plays.
Which I do want to say, I saw a very funny screenshot on Twitter of like when Kylan was the only person sitting out of the veto competition. Someone had taken a screenshot of him like with his arms folded, and they were like, "He's gonna have to speak to CBS's manager."
Yes.
I mean, I still live for all of those things. I want to find his Yelp profile, by the way. I understand it's
Someone
very
somewhere
funny.
has it.
No, I understand it's very funny. We're going to find that for Monday. We're going to go over it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
That's
good.
necessary.
It's so necessary.
I also want to say, while we're talking about silly things,
Mhm.
what happened to Azza during that HOH competition? She forget where she
Oh,
was?
yeah. Yeah, we had
She just stood there.
2 questions in a row.
Julie was
just
like, "Hello."
Just totally just tuned out. Just totally just checked out.
Like,
I
where
guess
do
she
you
was
think you are right now?
strategizing for her upcoming win.
I was like, "Girl, you're kind of busy."
Like,
Girl was
hi,
lost in
you're
the
alive.
sauce.
Ugh.
Oh, we got a question.
Hmm.
Who do you think would rather take a floater to the finale, Tiffany or Xavier? Probably Xavier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tiffany would want to take Hannah, and I don't view Hannah as a floater, so.
Tiffany would want to take Hannah, but also I think Tiffany is too big a fan of the game to allow herself to not have to fight for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with all of that. I see like Tiffany sticking true to like, to Hannah, to the girls, and I could see Xavier just being like, who gives me the best chance to win? Like that kind of thing. So,
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, so what was the answer to what Kylan is going to do?
I think he puts up Tiffany and Hannah. Is that what we were saying?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like we got derailed. Somehow.
Definitely Tiffany.
We went
I
on a
think.
tangent.
Definitely Tiff. I don't see either of the guys hitting the block.
Is Kylan close with like Azza? I feel like I don't know about their relationship. Like, do
I feel like I don't
they?
know about their relationship at all.
I mean, the thing about Azza is like she very much is aligned with the women, but we saw it in yesterday's episode and we saw it again today. Anytime that there's a conversation between the men of the cookout, Azza is there too. But we don't usually see her playing double agent, telling the women everything that the men are saying. So I think that she's I think Azza is one that's like whoever holds the power is the person that I'm going to align myself with this week.
I also don't really understand Oz's game at all. I don't understand. Like, I don't know if she's playing like a brilliant social game or if she's just like this aloof girl. But like, I feel like every single time somebody wins HOH, she sits down for the one-on-ones and they're like, all right, so if you would have won, like, who would you have put up? And she's like, you. I put you up. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they still don't put her up. Right. And then like other times, like they're just like, oh, well, who's your target? Oh, it's you. Like, it's always you. And you can put me up. I don't care. Put me up. And they don't. And it's like, what's happening?
Right. We were saying we were so excited to see what her game looks like without Brittany. And I can't decide what it looks like.
It still looks like nothing. It still looks like she's throwing herself under the bus and no one cares.
Yeah, I feel like she's just not quite flat out saying anymore, put me up instead of Brittany. Like she's not actually like throwing herself on the block, but like she doesn't seem to be helping herself much. But she's never in any danger. So.
But she also says it herself, like when she sat down to a vote. Oh my god. No!
Wow.
When she sat down to vote out Alyssa.
To vote.
I'm just so happy.
I know. And I'm so glad that
you know what? I don't want to talk anymore. I give up.
And on the night that he casts 2 correct votes, or close enough.
Someone had to do it. I was just picking up the slack.
It was close. Yeah.
I'm just so happy.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm so mad.
Oh, what a slip.
Oh, wait.
No.
What did Erin just say? Erin just said something.
No, Erin, why? Listen, he didn't screw up, so someone had to.
God. Oh, God. Oh, we have new messages.
Ooh.
See, I don't even know what we were talking about before then. I think they remember. Vote out Alyssa? I don't know what we were talking about.
Oh, no, I was saying when Azza sat down for the second vote, when she was saying, I vote to evict Alyssa, when she sat down, the first thing she said was, I can't win a competition, but I vote out Alyssa. Like, she's very self-aware of the fact that, like, her agency in this game isn't the best. Right. You know? Like, it's not like she's sitting there being like, I'm playing a great game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Listen, I said it, all right? Yes. I know what happened. I messed up.
I'm just so happy. Just so happy.
I know that really.
Oh man!
Thank you, Gina. Thank you. For
yes,
that
thank you. It's just great that it was you too,
right, exactly.
and done up so nice for double eviction night. You pulled a Julie. How appropriate!
I did it. You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry, Jules.
Love you, Julie. Looked great tonight. Looked great.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, okay. Yeah, she looked great. She was kind of flying free. I appreciated that. what is she gonna do next week? What do they have her doing? This
For
2 hour
2
double.
hours.
This 2 hour double. I mean, she's gonna pull out like an Irish
Oh,
jig.
man. There better be a lot of cookout content from the week to fill
I'm
up
telling
2
you,
hours.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Because I even felt like tonight was a little stretchy.
I think there might be a lot of jury content because we really haven't gotten a lot of jury content yet.
Mm.
And we do have 2 people going into the house now. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And at this point,
have we
the
seen
jury,
Hours
Beth
worth
go
of
in yet?
jury.
well, I mean, at this point, the jury conversation might be really interesting because now the only people left in the house are the cookout.
Right.
So are we going to start to see people maybe like, are we going to see Claire telling people what Tiffany explained to her as to why she went up? Are we going to start to see people piece things together?
Have we
Yeah.
seen SB arrive at the?
No.
No. So we have three
Yeah, it's true.
people arriving at the jury house. That might be a good chunk of the
Oh
show.
gosh, is this gonna be a tearjerker also? Because like I can't do another last night.
Also, I just want to say when she was talking to Alyssa, she's like, "You're the 5th juror," and I was like, 5. Brittany, DX. I completely forgot SB existed.
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh.
I was
You know
like,
what
who?
Yeah. You know what I'm interested to see since we're talking about the jury house? Now that we're at this point, I would be very interested to see how the first cookout members that go into the jury house interact with the rest of the house guests.
Mhm.
That's very interesting
Yeah.
to me. Like, what are they going to say? Like, great season, guys.
Hey, fancy
Fancy meeting you
guys.
here.
Also, like, do we think that they'll out themselves at that point because it doesn't necessarily matter anymore?
They have to
They
at that
have to,
point,
yeah.
especially. I mean, and at least they're gonna walk in there together.
Yeah.
You know, like there'll be 2 of them going in together. They can figure
Yeah,
out how they
that's
want to
true.
handle that. Yeah,
Right.
they don't have to
That's
handle
true.
it by themselves, and they can't spin it in their favor.
Right.
You know, there is that.
Mhm.
That'll be interesting. Mm.
Mhm.
Which cookout member do you think will be going to jury first?
I think they're pretty split right now. So it really depends on who wins this next 8
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we were kind of mentioning before. I see, I don't know, Kylan maybe, Tiffany. You know, like there's people. Those are the names that we heard come out of people's mouths tonight. I think it was Xavier and DF kind of hinted that they wanted Tiffany to be the first one that they went after, and Azza and Hannah both said Kylan. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's almost easier to answer like who's not going.
Right.
right,
And I think that's just Hannah and Azza.
Hannah,
Yeah.
Azza, and I don't
I don't think DF.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Unless
going
something
Yeah.
really nutty and wild goes on with the veto or something.
Honestly, DF won't go out first, but he might end up somehow going out as the second eviction.
Right, because there
Yeah.
are 2 leaving, and that's going to make that interesting
Yeah.
too. Yeah, and I can't wait to speculate on that one too, because whoever wins this next HOH, and obviously then can't play the next one, and that's going to really
Right.
change so much of what that
Yeah.
looks like too. You know,
Yeah, that's another thing. Hannah can't play for this week
Right.
until.
but
the
I think
second.
I don't think it matters for her.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But
I think if anyone was going to win this HOH and not be able to compete, she was the one. You know, like I think anybody else could have been in danger, but I think that it was to her best interest. Like if anybody was going to win the double HOH and not be able to compete this week, Hannah was the best option.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, or Asa.
Mhm.
But otherwise, no, I don't think anybody else is.
That's just one less
I'd love
person
to see a
put
guy
up.
in there first.
That's just one less person to put up Kylan, though. Because Hannah and Azza were
Yeah.
pretty set on
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
And I'm not very confident on Azza's abilities to win an HOH.
unless she's been throwing. Let's see if she turns up.
Yeah, I do want, like you were saying way before, Kyle. I want the chaos. I want to see unexpected
ready.
people win HOHs. I want people.
I
on the
think no
block to
matter
win
what,
veto.
at this point, we're getting it this week.
Yeah, like I want to see nominations changing. I want to see people that are in danger winning veto, getting their safety. I want to see craziness. That's what I want.
I want a Derek F.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm going to get one, then I want it to be like now. I don't want a Derek F1 like in the double. I don't want that one. I want time with him.
Right.
Like today.
Yes.
Yes. Like, so I want him to either then win now or then maybe win going
Next
into
week.
that, like that last week, which
Yeah.
that would actually be very interesting if that happened.
Yeah.
Because that's then so late into it. Gives him a lot of power late. It's kind of, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That guarantees him final 3.
Which is where I see him anyway. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
yeah. Yeah.
It's just a matter of who he's there with.
Got another.
Yeah, I always read it first.
Yeah,
It's just kind of, it's very selfish. It's very selfish. This one came from Twitch. This came from Kevin Verde 979. Hannah would have done well in the next HOH, giving her attention to detail in that one POV comp where they had to study the difference in the photos. The comic comp does just that. Yeah, I'm really excited to see like how this BB Comics thing goes, especially if it's truly like the old school way. DF is going to have some troubles. Okay, like
The zip
you
line,
know,
yeah.
yeah, he's not hanging so well. Ah,
Yeah.
and Kevin agrees.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I thought about that. I thought I feel bad because as a big guy myself, I always thought about that. Like if I played, I wouldn't remember things anyway. But the hanging, I mean, it's not on a shot in hell.
Yeah.
See here. If Azza wins HOH next week, somehow then it would be wild to think who she will nominate because DF would be safe because he is her number 1. And she confirmed that Xavier is her number 2 and trusts his loyalty.
Huh. So she would have to either turn on the women or it would have to be Kyland.
Well, I think that if Azza wins, Kyland is going up. His name we've already heard come out of her mouth in this episode tonight. So,
I really wouldn't mind an Azza HOH.
yeah.
I don't think that would put Tiffany in trouble. That's really what I want to make sure is protected. Even if she doesn't win, I'm not ready to see her go. And I don't think Azza. Oh, you know what? I don't want to. You know what? Let me not say that. I don't know. I say she wouldn't do anything with Tiffany, but she's going to run out of people. It's going to be. It would be Kylan and who?
I see if it's
Actually, it could be Tiffany.
I see Kylan being one, and then maybe Hannah, and if not Hannah, maybe Tiffany. That's
I don't know,
my guess.
I don't think she'd do.
I feel like if DF and X really are like her number 1 and number 2, and they want Tiffany out that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's very tricky.
I
Very
know,
tricky.
I know.
Game's finally getting interesting.
Yeah, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Yeah,
And now I'm
Aaron
stressed.
agrees. Yeah, that HOH comp is that zipline. Yeah, not very well. No, he will not.
I feel like isn't BB Comics usually the veto or is it the
I think
HOH?
it's usually the veto, from what I remember.
Which doesn't matter. Everybody
But
plays
it doesn't
veto
matter.
anyway.
Yeah, at that point because everybody plays, right? Because there's 6. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
either way, we're going to get to see it. Yeah, Kevin's got a question. Do you think that Tiff and X can bury the hatchet? He still seems upset after taking the HOH. I don't actually think so.
I don't think so either. I think Xavier's taken it too far. That
Yeah.
It's that
with
stage in the game anyway.
Right. And I
Um,
think with his pride at this point, he's just like, I think he's made that whole HOH thing such a big thing in his mind that it's too late. It would almost be embarrassing for him to now be like, I'm sorry. Let's bury
Right,
that.
yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I think he's going to stick to his guns on it.
It's almost too late to drop it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think for his own self, he kind of needs something to amp him up anyway, because this is now the stage. I mean, the whole thing has been set up like this. It is Tiffany and Xavier that are the cookout, essentially. They had to start turning towards each other at some point, and you might as well just use this as the fire to go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Aaron says, I think he sees Tiff as one of his biggest competitors. Yep.
And he's right, honestly.
Yeah. Who else? The only other person is Kyland.
Right. And Kylan really, I think, is mostly just based on what he did weeks ago in the game. Like his resume, I feel like a lot of it was built towards the beginning of the game. So like Kylan and Xavier, yeah, maybe they're comparable somewhat in like their competition wins and stuff. But I feel like Tiffany overall is probably the biggest threat to Xavier over Kylan.
And nobody likes Kylan anymore.
I
The only one who likes him is SV. So like, all right, so you get one vote. Go like, good for you.
Tiffany, I guess. Well.
Oh. I see it going girls versus boys from here on out with Big D floating. That was from Kevin.
Yeah, I see it that way, except for Azza being kind of a wild card.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah. Well, because of the Xavier thing. If there was no Xavier thing, then I think she'd squat up with the women.
Yeah, I think it's X and DF. X and Kylan, Hannah and Tiff, and then DF and Azza are going to go with whoever has the power.
I
don't know. Right. The only thing, though, is I think that at this point, DF is so against Tiffany. I don't know if I would see him flip-flopping as much as I would see Azza.
That's fair.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because the only reason Azza would be flip-flopping is just because, like, the women's kinship that DF does not share. That's all I got.
It's getting exciting finally.
Yeah, we're at it. Monday night's going to be fun. Just ask some answers.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I'm stressed.
It's so wild to think that 4 people just gone in 2 weeks like that. You know, it's
cuts the house right in half.
Yeah.
It was time. It's starting to drag out.
Yeah.
It's starting to drag out.
But this definitely was infinitely better than a triple also.
Absolutely.
So much better.
Because if nothing else, we at least get this week of like starting to see fireworks. Even if like it does go by a little quickly in next week's double, we still start to see the cracks forming.
Yeah. And I'm just excited because you heard some of them talking about, I think before Julie even said anything tonight, or it might have even been in last night's episode where a couple of them said like, oh, well, what if it's a double? What if it's a double? So we're going to get a week's worth of fireworks. And then in that one episode, it's going to be the shocker of, oh my God, wait, 2 of us are leaving right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so.
Yeah, they fully were prepared for tonight's double. They're not going to expect next week's double.
Right.
Do you think they might be counting? They know when the finale is, right? I mean,
do they? I don't know if they do.
Well,
they don't. I mean, don't they just have to know just from real life? Well,
I know that Julie told I heard her mention it to Alyssa as she left. Like, oh, you'll be back.
Yeah, but that's as they're getting evicted.
Right. She said you'll be back with the jury on the 29th or whatever. But I don't know. Do they know?
So they don't actually know when finale night is?
I don't know.
I just always assumed they knew, like, when they would be going back to their real life.
I mean, maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know. They gotta know, right? They have to know.
All right. Well, answers to come. I'm done.
Oh boy.
I don't really have anything else.
No, this
but
is
I'm excited. I'm encouraged. This was a lot of fun. I love when Warren joins us.
I love being here. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. And you're going to come back for a finale night. It's going to be late, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be a late night.
It is. Gina was trying to say we should do it the day after. And I said,
threw it out as a suggestion, all right? I wasn't saying we have to.
You're honestly crazy.
Like, it's insane. Like, I mean, it's going to be exhausting.
All right, we're coming after Gina today, all right?
But like,
I'm going to go into work so tired the next day. Worth it. Worth it. Though.
It is going to be worth it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you again on the 29th when we wrap this sucker up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments and questions. That made it a lot of fun too. So thanks a lot. Join us on Monday at 9:30. We do it again. This has been Jury Duty. Thanks a lot.